have media without Drewski.
We good, Cliff? All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Reynolds Coliseum. Today we have the student athletes from North Carolina State. I'd like to remind everybody, make sure your phones are on mute. There is no flash photography, no videoing. I'd also like to remind you that when the student athletes are here, the locker room is open downstairs. All right, so at this time, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions. Wait, if you go wait for the microphone.
Jordan Kramer, CBS 17. Mimi, obviously you started your college career at Tennessee. Is it a little bit full circle to be playing them now with a Sweet 16 appearance on the line?
I think it's kind of, I wasn't expecting it. Like, you never expect when you leave a school to come back, but I'm just very blessed and very grateful. I think this goes to show the growth that I've become as a woman, just being an adult. And seeing the adversity that I went through. So just seeing this growth in full circle and just being able to play my old team, I think it's just a blessing, and I'm very excited to play them.
Let's go to Ethan.
Hey, Ethan McDowell from the Wolfpack. Zoe, I think you're 4 games now into your postseason career. What have you learned about yourself as a player, about postseason basketball over the past couple weeks here?
I'm very competitive. I love to win. Obviously, these last 4 games have been very big and important, and I think just moving forward, I just got to remember that it's win or go home.
All right, let's go to Ernie over here.
Ernie, Wolfpack Sports Radio. Mimi, how do you look at this season so far for you personally? What would be the cherry on the cake? Your senior year, this is your last go around. What would make this year, in this second half of this third season, what would it be enjoyable for you? What would going to a Final Four or getting to a Sweet 16, what would that mean for you this year?
I think it would mean everything, but I think for me, I mean, I know that's every athlete's dream. Every athlete's dream is to win a national championship, make it to the Final Four. I mean, that is my dream as well, but right now, this is my last rodeo, so I just want to soak in everything. I think I'm cherishing more my teammates as my sisters more than anything, because, as an adult, you don't get that back. I mean, you get to come to alumni and see your old college teammates, but I just want to cherish this as much as I can. But, of course, we're going to compete as hard as we can, and we're going to try our hardest to win a Final Four and win a national championship.
Okay, let's go over on the edge.
Hey, Mimi. Brian Pirtle with Pat Pride. Sort of on that same vein, this will be your last game in Reynolds Coliseum. Sort of how to manage the emotions going into that game, knowing it's Sweet 16 appearance on the line, still a lot left to play for, but also kind of take it all in at the same time. It's one last time on the court.
Yeah, like you said, this is my one last rodeo here at Reynolds Coliseum. I think Wolfpack Nation has done a great job, as you probably saw with the post that we had today, that we're sold out. So just understanding that Wolfpack Nation is showing out for us seniors and for the team. But I just think, like questions before, it has come full circle for me. This is my last college game here at Reynolds Coliseum, but it's also I'm playing my freshman year team. So it's just literally coming in full circle for me. But I'm very grateful and I'm very blessed to be in this position.
Let's go back up here, Jordan.
Just talking about the game itself for either player, Tennessee has some big physical players in the post. They've got guards that can shoot. I mean, they were the team that was probably closest to ending South Carolina's win streak. When you look at them, is there a team that you faced this season that you could maybe compare the Lady Vols to?
Zoe, could you answer that, please?
Help me out here. I don't know.
Do you want me to help her out?
Yeah, you could help her out. That would be perfectly fine.
I would say
Size-wise.
Are we going size-wise or are we going skill set?
Everything.
Oh, okay. Skill set-wise, I would say UConn, because that was our biggest test. But for size, I would say Miami helped us out a lot, because both of their bigs were in the 6'4" range. 6'6" range, how we're going to deal with TK and the rest of them. But I just think that I think UConn was our best like overall game skill set comparison to the Lady Vols, but understanding that not only that they're versatile, we're versatile too, and we also have size as well. So I think this is a great game of matchup where from the 1 all the way to the 5, we match up perfectly. So I think this is going to be a great game to compete and see who is going to be the best at defending and rebounding.
Let's go, Frank.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jaden Watson Fisher, News and Observer. Zoe, you're surrounded by a team of a lot of veterans. What does it mean to get to play alongside people like me, people like River on their last trip in Reynolds?
It's a great feeling. Obviously, the most important thing is to have leaders around you, and they hold you accountable, and they help you keep your head up when things aren't going your way. So that's definitely something I'm going to miss next year is their leadership and just the love that they have.
Okay, let's get Ethan, and we'll go to Ernie.
And Mimi, you've been here for 2 years now, 2 very different seasons.
Yes.
What would it mean to you to win this game and get the program back to the stage that it's accustomed to?
I think it would be huge because, like my other schools, I have been in the Sweet 16. I have like made it to that far. So understanding what it takes, I've been on that younger stick where I have made it that far and understanding what it takes. But like now, being a vet, it's like the mind has shifted. But it's just I think it would be a great honor to bring it back, to be that team that brought it back for us. But I think we're more than capable of doing it as a team. So. I don't see why not.
Okay, let's go to Ernie.
Zoe, this question is for you. Last year you were in high school, and you decided to come to NC State. Did you ever think that you would find yourself in this situation, about to possibly go to a Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament and being an integral part of that run?
Yes, that's a big reason why I chose NC State because they always play at a high level. They always go far in tournaments. They win. And like I said, I'm very competitive, and that's very important to me. So I could definitely see myself in this position when I was in high school.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, ladies, thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
So Coach Moore is due at 1:45. Welcome back, everyone. It's time now for Coach Wes Moore's portion of the press conference. We'll go ahead and open up the floor for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand and wait for the microphone. Any questions for Coach? Cora?
Cora Hall, Knoxville News Sentinel. I know you've talked a lot about the Harpers already, but just Kelly started on her staff when she was only a couple years out of college, starting her coaching career. Just like, what has it been like for you to see her go on to have the career she has, and how she's grown as a coach just from when you had her on her staff?
Yeah, it was pretty neat. I guess maybe when I hired her the first summer, she was 24 years old. A lot of car rental places require you to be 25. So there was a lot of times where I drove and she navigated, and she said we were great. This was before the phone GPS stuff, y'all. And you're flying from gym to gym to see AAU games, and we would just about have passed the road, and she'd go, "Oh, we're supposed to turn right there." And I would just whip it and turn right. And she said, we're made for each other in this deal. So, no, it's awesome to see. It's worked out great. She's back where she belongs, so to speak. Had a great career, 3 national championships as a player. So it's neat that she's back home and again, doing so well. So, yeah, it's pretty fun to watch.
Let's go in the back first, and then we'll move up to Ernie.
Coach, at half yesterday, there was a change of one of the officials. When were you notified of that, and were you given any reasoning why why they didn't use the standby?
Yeah, and I feel bad. I mean, I've known the official. I recruited her. That's the tough thing about being old. Tommy, she's from Chattanooga. I recruited her. Devil led her away. She went to Furman. I don't know. But anyway, like I said, on the sideline sometimes, I did say something about how in the world are you doing this game? I hope that had nothing to do with it because, again, I was just, bandering back and forth. But, yeah, I mean, again, I would never doubt her integrity and those sort of things. But, I guess when they found out she had a degree from Chattanooga, I guess that maybe made it a little bit stickier, but I'll be honest, I didn't know they were doing anything until I see Angelica suffering over there stretching. So, and someone told me. So, again, I kind of hate it that it happened because, again, I, would never question Tommy Paris's integrity or whatever.
All right, Ernie, do you have a question?
Wolfpack Sports Radio. Coach, you've been in the game for 34 years and
longer than that, baby.
Maybe longer than that.
But let's keep it at that. That's
let's
good.
keep it at that.
Yeah.
Right, all right.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Head coaching for 34 years.
35. But
35.
we'll go
years.
with it.
Okay, I'll go with it. A lot of experience. You've seen it all, in this game, recruiting, everything. What has eluded you was the Final Four. Is that something that you aspire to get to as a coach? I know it sounds like a stupid question, but I mean, I know you're trying to get this next game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still haunted. How many 2-3 years ago we're, playing in Connecticut to go to the Final Four, and we lose in double overtime. So that'll forever haunt me. I look back on what I could have done at the end of regulation differently, and things like that. So, sure. I mean, I think that's everyone's goal. And if you ever lose sight of that, it's not a motivating factor, then it's probably time to play golf full time.
Other questions, Bob?
With the Associated Press West, did you know Tamari Key, I assume, while she was in high school? What's
Sure.
your relationship with her? Did you recruit her? How did that all shape?
Yeah, we obviously tried to recruit her. I don't know, how deep we got into it with her, but yeah, I mean, she is an unbelievable presence on both ends of the floor, and a big challenge when you're trying to have an interior scoring game, things like that. She definitely, like I said, impacts the game on both ends. So, But yeah, we recruited her, but you know, I don't think she ever came on an official visit. I don't believe.
Let's go back over here.
Coach, I know we've talked a lot about Tennessee and the Harpers, but on the court, what are you feeling towards Tennessee? I know you said you scrimmaged them this year. What are the things you're telling your team they need to really think about?
Things what?
What are the things that you're telling your team they need to really think about for the matchup tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take. We're going to have to play with a lot of urgency, a lot of energy. They've got talent. Great talent, and obviously they're well coached, well prepared. I think the biggest things when I think of Tennessee is transition. You better do a good job in transition D. Not only take away the block and the paint, but then they've got some great shooters spotting up when they run as well. And then offensive rebounding. Again, I was around Pat Summitt a lot. And I've heard her say it a million times, and I've probably said it at least a million myself. Offense sells tickets, defense wins games, rebounding wins championships. And, I haven't necessarily got that message through to my team as well as I would like. I do think this time of year, rebounding is going to determine a lot of these games. If you give people second looks and you yourself are one and done, it's going to be tough to overcome.
Let's go in the back to Jordan.
Hey, Coach. Jordan Kramer, CBS 17. I apologize if you've been asked this already, but Mimi Collins said it's kind of a full circle moment for her playing Tennessee, given the fact that she started her career there. Mm-hmm. She talked a little bit about some of the adversity that she kind of went through for her career. It's kind of bringing some of that up. Have you talked to her at all about maybe compartmentalizing the emotional side and just focusing on the game?
Not a whole lot. Again, nowadays it's very common for players to face their former school. So, not really. I mean, again, obviously Mimi is an important part of what we do, and there was a coaching change at Tennessee, and that influenced, her decision some, and she went back home to Maryland at the time. And so, I don't think it was any conflict or anything like that. It was just they made a coaching change, and so she decided to go home to Maryland. So, knowing me, if I do say anything, it'll be joking, sarcasm, something to that effect.
All right, let's go back to Ethan.
Hey, Coach, Ethan from the Wolfpacker. This might be a silly question, but
well, I've already had a couple of those, so go ahead.
Madison and Rakia obviously were teammates earlier in their college career. When you have players that have played together or played against each other extensively at former schools, are you asking Madison hey, what would you do against Rakia?
No, but maybe I should. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But yeah, I mean, again, you watch all this film. I mean, so you kind of get a good feel, but. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, I think she's projected to be top 2 or 3 in the WNBA draft, so you kind of know what you're getting there.
Okay, let's go back to Cora.
Kind of going to go on that same trend. Just how tough is it to game plan for a player like Rakia Jackson, who, especially the way she's playing right now, kind of caught fire at the end of the season?
Yeah, she's playing extremely well right now, and tough matchup. Do you put size? Do you put length on her? Do you put quickness on her? And, of course, Kelly, she's a great coach. If you put, quickness on her, she's going to take them inside and post them up. And if you go with length, she's going to step out and shoot the three or take them off the bounce. And then in a perfect world, you'd be able to really help off people and get in the gaps and things like that. But, they got, 3 or 4 people out there shooting the three extremely well. So, pick your poison. If you help on her, then you're giving something else up. So definitely it's a tough matchup. I mean, again, they got a lot of All-Americans over there. So, again, at this time of year, you're going to play somebody really good. And it's gotten to a point now that when you get into this second tier, it's there's no easy ones. But Tennessee's definitely well well stocked. Yeah.
Any other questions for Coach? Go back to Jordan.
Mimi and River both talked about kind of the emotion of tomorrow's game, it being their final game here at Reynolds Coliseum, no matter what. Can you just talk about the pair of them and really what they have meant to this program?
Yeah, I mean, again, trying to figure out how we can get another year out of them, you know. I don't know. I think River looked good with blonde hair, and, you know, we can maybe disguise them a little. But, yeah, I mean, again, they're both invaluable. I mean, Mimi's shooting the three a lot better. You know, she's worked extremely hard in that regard and made herself a threat at several levels, and that's good. And you know, Mimi, again, someone you can play at the 4, you can play her at the 5 some, so great versatility. River Baldwin, you know, I think when we just this year said, hey, you're it, we're going to play through you, I think that gave her great confidence, and she was able to step up and do some amazing things. So, yeah, you know, I'm sitting here, one eye on this game, and then another eye, you know, what are we going to do about filling those spots? But yeah, both of them are been a joy to be around. You know, I love cutting up with both of them, and again, they're going to be missed on the court and off.
Any other questions? Oh, back over here.
Coach, when you play against SEC teams like you're going to tomorrow, what are the immediate characteristics you think of in the SEC, and what's distinctive about SEC defense?
Well, I don't know that I single out SEC. I mean, I look at it as Power Fives. I mean, again, you know, and a lot of them are probably like Tennessee. They're going to play great defense. They're going to run and transition. They're going to be big time on the offensive boards. So, you know, again, I've said this a million times too. It's a butt game. You better get your butt back. You better get your butt between them and the rim, and you better get your butt on them and box them out. So. Yeah.
Back to Ernie. Dang, Ernie. You got 3 minutes.
Practice about to start. What did you love most about this group of this team that you're coaching this year? I mean, you know.
Well, I think more than anything else, you know, they get along, you know, and they enjoy being around each other, and makes, I don't think there's a whole lot of jealousy. I think they're happy, genuinely happy for someone else when they do well, and they celebrate other people's success instead of just their own. You know, I think, again, that just makes it more pleasant for everybody when team is close and have great chemistry and those sort of things. And so, yeah, it's been a fun ride, and I'd like to keep it going.
He's got 2 more minutes if anybody has a question. All right, Coach. Thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow.
I'm trying to show a few film clips before we go on the court.
Tennessee student athletes at 2:15.